Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ, and today I'm looking at a much maligned film trailer, a much controversial film. That is, of course, the Super Mario Brothers movie, an early 90s gigantic misfire considering how beloved the source material and video games and TV show and merchandise and all that shit was. In line with that, it was a gigantic failure on every level. I remember having the toys. I had a Mario and Luigi, the human ones from the movie, but I don't remember liking the film. I mean, I'm sure I saw it at some point, and then I've since seen it again, but I don't remember being like, yeah, that was amazing. Certainly, I was a fan of the games, as everyone else was. So the real question is what went wrong. So let's try to figure it out without any further ado. The trailer to Super Mario Brothers. I don't know which side you're on. That's a video for another day. Without any further ado, here's the trailer. Ooh, we're going hard with the music already. I've got the power? I get the link, but you want to use the Mario song. This is very suspenseful. It's very much a dystopian New York.
I got a feeling we're not in Brooklyn no more.
Well, they're two Brooklyn plumbers, obviously. They're not that Italian. There is so much going on. This is the weirdest post-apocalyptic New York. Is this where Batman was filmed? The same New York? You know what? Bob Hoskins has a good Mario voice. And then the dinosaur is a whole other level that we're not ready for. There's a meteor, there's this crystal they need to get. Oh god, it's a fungus power thing. Where the shoes came from. See, there's too much going on. Who can digest this? Oh my god, I feel like I'm at an orgy of 90s cliches. Dear Lord, there's too much going on. I can't handle this. How can I comment on...
and make it safely back?
This is when you know the movie's bad. You're just trying to throw as many things as possible, as quickly as possible. I can't... Is this the first 5 minutes? Have I been watching this for an hour and a half? Dear Lord. John Leguizamo was great, I must say, and Dennis Hopper. Oh no, this was not what was advertised at all. What is this? He says Mario.
Super Mario Brothers. This ain't no
Holy
game.
shit. I feel like I'm on a trip, or perhaps an LSD, relapse when you trip again. I don't know, I've been told. That is a lot of shit to take in. Oh my god. Okay, so, if you have not seen the film, there are two dimensions. I guess they're parallel universes. One is like this dystopian 90s Brooklyn, which is also very exaggerated considering that's like the reality. And then there's also like fucking Dino Land, basically. It's a world of dinosaurs and Dennis Hopper, and he goes back and forth, and then there's this magic crystal that has this like fungus power, which of course controls the universe, which is the biggest cliche. In the Mario video games, they're just like, hey, I want to fuck Peach. And that was the plot. There's two men wanted to have sex with the same woman. That was it. There was like 20 levels of that. Sorry, I took her somewhere else because I want to have sex with her. That was it. But this is controlling the universe, and you're like, why do you need to control the universe when you're already in a parallel universe? Wouldn't you just keep switching universes? Isn't that the thing to do? Wow. Really very much wow is all I can say. It's so much to digest. So there's dinosaurs. Peach is obviously a gal from Brooklyn. And you don't really see Toad here at all, which is very interesting. Dennis Hopper, it's not clear that he's Koopa. You just think, or Bowser, whatever, King Koopa, whatever the shit is. Is he Bowser? I guess Bowser. It's not clear is my point. You don't realize he's supposed to be the guy from the video. You just think he's a fucking guy. Obviously, the same guy did his makeup that did Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers movie, which is something else I gotta talk about. Obviously, this is a much maligned movie. No one seems to like it at all. But I will say this. You have to understand and respect the choices that they made. Because what came out just before this? Batman, multiple successful Batman movies, multiple successful Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, both took wacky-ass properties and turned them into this gritty, surreal, New York-y bullshit thing. And they were huge. They were massive successes. It was genius. Prince did the Batman thing. Nobody batted a fucking eye. So the model at the time, this totally follows it. And you cannot fault them for doing that. I know people are like, well, why don't you make it just like the video game? That's what people wanted to see. Not really. Because Batman was certainly not like the original Batman. You know, this is kind of a step in the other direction, and so is this. So you can't fault them. Secondly, the casting is amazing. Bob Hoskins, let me point out that the guy is fucking British and is doing a commendable New York, Brooklyn accent. That's how good Bob Hoskins was. John Leguizamo, not Italian at all, but in the genre, in the Venn diagram of the characteristics that would be considered Italian, that's fine, that's okay. And Dennis Hopper, it's a choice. Let me tell you something. If I told you I wrote a movie and it's starring Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, you'd say this is a great movie. You wouldn't even ask me the plot. You'd say this is going to be amazing. They're all great. They're all fantastic. However, I did some research. They were not the first casting choices. And let me tell you the alternatives, and then you can see and appreciate where we got to. Dustin Hoffman expressed interest in portraying Mario. The fuck is that? What is that? They obviously did not believe he was right for the role because they have a brain in their heads. Danny DeVito was offered both the role of Mario and he was offered to direct. Could you imagine how bad this would have been if this was a Danny DeVito vanity project? He's not the right Mario. He's more of a Toad than a Mario. I hate to say it because I know people are like, oh, that makes sense. Bob Hoskins is a better Mario, hands down. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Michael Keaton were both approached to play Koopa, but they turned down the role. Schwarzenegger would be a good Koopa. Michael Keaton, shit. He probably didn't even have to. He's doing fucking Batman, Beetlejuice. He's like, can I have a break from the weird ass? No wonder he stopped for like 20 fucking years. This is too much shit they're throwing at him. Tom Hanks was considered for the role of Luigi. This would have been a bomb. But a string of recent box office failures dropped him from the running. This is a world we forget, where Tom Hanks fucking sucked and was costing people money, so nobody wanted to use him. Nobody is talking about that. So Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo were ultimately cast as Mario and Luigi. And I think John Leguizamo, I had a huge crush on him from his one-man shows. They clearly wanted to get, a fuckable Luigi. And it works. Bob Hoskins, having sex with him is an acquired taste, and that's fine. Dennis Hopper, obviously, from Blue Velvet, has his own psychosexual issues. John Leguizamo, he's bringing the meat. Hoskins didn't like the script and didn't want to do another children's film because he just did Roger Rabbit and Hook. Hook is another one that's in line of like, here's an old children's property, let's make it even weirder. So it's not that crazy. Hoskins wondered how he would prepare for the role, saying, I'm in the right shape, I've got a mustache, I worked as a plumber's apprentice for about 3 weeks and set the plumber's boots on fire with a blowtorch. He was made for this role. This is a peak career moment for Bob Hoskins that's mired in all this controversy. John Leguizamo didn't mind playing an Italian because he wanted to get back at people like Pacino, who were Italians playing Latins. He's like, fuck it, it's our turn. They're just as ridiculous, the stereotypes. So he was fine with that. And then, I forgot to say, Toad was played by Mojo Nixon, who some of you don't remember, and there's really no need to. But the production wanted an actual musician for the character, so their first choice was Tom Waits. That is the only thing that could have made this movie better, was if Tom Waits was in the movie with Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. That is the only thing. Apparently, it was originally a darker film, and they filmed scenes at a strip club and all this bullshit, and then at the last minute, they wanted to make it more kids and commercial. I get it. You always can't use the originally it was a darker script excuse. It does not work. This trailer tells me how little faith they had in this movie at all, but I will tell you, give this movie a second look. It is not bad objectively. It is simply a product of who we were in the 90s, and for that reason alone, it deserves your respect.
Guests of the RJ City Show, subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, and buy his t-shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/RJ City.